Hey, you talking to me? I don't see anybody else here. You talking to me? Let's talk about it. You're on the Terror Dome.
Turn it up, Gino.
And what's up, everybody? It is 17 March. That is uh it's a special holiday. It's Saint Valentine. No, it's Saint Gertrude. No, it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to each and every one of you. I don't have my green on. I was gonna use my University of Miami green to come to you today, but it's in the closet and I just didn't think about it until right now. You are live and on the Terror Dome. I see y'all in the chat right now. Red Jet Shell has shown up. Don't bother me is the first one, though. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. Don't bother me is in the building. Let me get the air horns. He's deserving of it, and a bell for being the first one. First one up. Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. And he comes with the salutes. Amen. We got Red Jet Shell in here. She's telling everybody to do wipe your feet, ladies and gentlemen, when you enter a man's house. It's customary to wipe your feet and just do what is right, what is cordial, what is good, and just like and subscribe. All you got to do is just subscribe. Come with some subscriptions. It's free. It's free. I ain't hitting you over the head. If I do, it ain't gonna be but for $1 till it holler, a quarter till it water, a nickel till it I don't know, bickle. I don't know. I ain't had nothing around with that right now. Thank you so much, Ray Jesha. You're an incredible woman and a supporter beyond your years. Thank you so much. We were going to discuss Miss Kiki Shepherd, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. So remind me as I get started, because just it's so many developments and different newsworthy things of happening that's going on. I'm gonna put a star next to that one right there so I remember it as I pass back up. Who else is in here? I just see you too. My main man, Bebop Jones, is in the building. Bebop Jones, Greenlaw, Suey. That's the old Arkansas Suey there. Hey man, hey, it's coming around. My man John Lynch ain't playing with y'all. John Lynch is somewhere doing the Dougie on y'all. Not us of 49er ilk, us of faithful ilk, us of true fandom and pulling with our team. But boy, the haters is out here like they scrambling. I love to see it. You're trying to be like, well, yeah, bug. You getting your toe up. He doing that on y'all boys. Yeah. David McKnight is in the building. Wonderful show with you, David. You're going to be on one of the topics here. We're going to talk about our mock draft we had. I think it was Saturday night. I was so honored to be a part of David McKnight and what he does. I was on there with a man, and they gave me San Francisco. Kenny takes everybody. Usually takes Cleveland. I think he took the Raiders. You had Spongy on there. Ellison was there. I guess he's going to do a little bit more with the Washington Football Club, Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever you may call it these days. But we just have a good time, man. We rock out. It's totally awesome. And Darwin, of course, with them Baltimore Ravens, you know how he is with them Ravens. He had a lot of explaining to do. Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do. You unsigned the man and then told him his leg was messed up. What is that? What is that? Rest in power to Kiki Shepherd. Yes, the wonderful Kiki Shepherd is going on to glory. I got that announcement earlier this morning while I was at work. And speaking of wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tanisha's in the building. Tanisha saying, "Good morning, Terra Dome and Golden Doma." Shouting you out, Miss Tanisha. You are the girl that I never had. And I wanna get to know you better. It was actually Aisha by the group ABC, who was produced by Michael Bivins, who is in Belle Biv DeVoe and a founding member of New Edition. And they had a group called Boys to Men. And I went to see them all in Greensboro. And if New Edition is coming to your town, please like, subscribe, go and spend your money to see a show with New Edition, Boys to Men, and Tony Braxton, and a couple of surprises. So check them out. They're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, first ballot, of course, because they don't mess it up like we do. My man Kylie Young is saying Kiki Shepherd, a Harlem legend, man. Truly a legend. Let's just go ahead and get into Miss Kiki while I holler at Bebop Jones real quick. What up, Bebop? He hollering at everybody. Miss Kiki Shepherd is gone on to glory, ladies and gentlemen. Do I got a picture of Kiki? I thought I did. No, I put it on the Twitters. On the Twitters. Let me pull that on up right quick. I'm gonna share my screen. Where's she at? Where's she at? Oh, there she go. There she is in her lovely splendor. And I gotta just take a moment out to invoke and give love to the wonderful, the vivacious, the beautiful Miss Kiki Shepherd. Kiki Shepherd has passed away, ladies and gentlemen. 74 years old. She was battling sickle cell, which I have a daughter that is battling that as well. She died at 74. And if you are a lover of just greatness, and that's where we can, I find the tangential, that's the word for today, the tangential connections of sport as well as everyday life. You watched Showtime at the Apollo. It is a part of Americana. It was the original American Idol. American Idol just took it to another level. It was kind of the infusement or the convergence of Showtime at the Apollo, as well as you would probably say the Gong Show. But before all of that was Showtime at the Apollo, hosted by Sinbad, hosted by greats like Steve Harvey, and Kiki Shepherd would come out there, man, is elegant and beautiful and vivacious as anybody. And she would escort you to the stage. You would rub that rock, that log, and the band, Ray Chew and the crew would play a little bit, man. And Kiki Shepherd was, she was our, speaking in terms of the culture, and we defined the culture. Tell the truth, shame the devil. America goes with what culture is doing, and when we say culture, it is black folk, y'all. It's black folks. We dig it out of the mud. You might have given us scraps, but we will just make it our own and do whatever it takes to make it a fine meal, a fine music, a fine thespian experience, whatever, what have you. And nobody did it like Kiki Shepard. She was the original spokesmodel for one of the greatest shows ever. Saturday night, we tuned into Showtime at the Apollo. They had other acts, others that were established, but man, you got your groove on with Showtime at the Apollo. The Sandman would come out. It's go or no go. That's what we say in the Army. You have a task, conditions, and standard, and it's going to be done on a go and no go basis. That means either you got it or you ain't. You got it or you ain't. And either you're a go at this station or you're going to get recycled. You're a no go. Go back, learn your stuff, and get a little bit better. And nothing brought it home like Showtime at the Apollo on Saturday night. And Kiki would come out there very, very vivacious, very much like one of the Price is Right women. She just personified elegance and grace, and we're surely gonna miss her. Rest in power, Miss Kiki Shepard. Peaceful journey. The Bible speaks of the death of our saints are of God's happiness, precious in his sight are the death of our saints. She was a good lady, wholesome. I had never heard anything controversial or nothing of ill will or nastiness about her. She just went with that's the first words that come to my mind. She just went through it with an elegance and a grace, and people understand who they are, and they understand what you're supposed to be about, what you represent. And Kiki Shepard did just that. As a lady, she represented herself well. You never saw her doing anything wild and hearing anything controversial. She just held it down. She held it down. Respectable, honorable, beautiful. The world is missing a saint, but our loss is heaven's gain. Um, that's what you aspire to be. We will surely miss you, Miss Kiki Shepard. God bless you, God hold you, and God keep you on your peaceful journey. And as you head to eternal life, I hope as you head to eternal light, I hope it leads to eternal life. And may the prayers that your family said come upon you and keep your head. We will see each other again. I have no doubt. Shout out to Kiki Shepard. Kiki Shepard, resting in power, 74 years old. 74. Kiki Shepard. What else I got on that thing? Let me see here. That's a beautiful one there. Look at that. Before social media, this writes Sway. Sway laughs. I don't know if that's the Sway. I don't have a blue dot on that thing. Elegant. That's my say. Consistent, unforgettable. Stressway 74, battling sickle cell. Thank you for the memories, Miss Kiki Shepard. It just is cute. She looked like she reminds me so much of my wife's sisters, and one of which passed away. Just a beautiful beautiful soul, just got that vibe, got that vibe. It is what it is. Shouting out throwback. 49ers is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Throwback out here. We got Tribe in the building. Tribe. Papa J, the gay of gays. Oh, wow. All right. I'm going to leave that alone. We got my main man, Niner Podcast. He is in there. Niner Gang Podcast. Dion is in the building. You never have to worry about how Dion feeling because he's going to tell you. Bebop 49 Throwback. How's it going, Dion? Yeah, y'all shout out Dion because Dion will, he'll light you up. We got 49ers throwback. Tanisha's in the building. Hey, we ready to go on. What I got on the agenda today? Let me see here. I had my thoughts organized, but we go with the product. I speak extemporaneously. I learned that one in college. You got to be extemporaneous. You gotta be able to flow with the jazz. You got to be able to flow with jazz. We're talking today on the docket. Front office, a little bit of Christian Kirk. We just mentioned the aforementioned Kiki Shepard, a beautiful, classy lady. Our mock draft. I'm talking a little bit about sinners today. I got a little film. I'm gonna break it down to you. And paradise. Paradise. Oh man, paradise. My wife and I, she was feeling under the weather this weekend. And normally she's just, you know, she's not in here now because she's doing some major stuff at her job today. But some people are the worst patients in the world. Hey, so she's wonderful taking care of me when I'm sick, but when she's sick, it's like, oh, and it's not because I'm bad. I'm very, very good at what I do. I'll take care of you if you're sick, particularly, hey, it's your wife, man. You take care of your wife. That who take care of you. But she just don't sit down and she don't listen to the orders. I'm the doc. I'm hey, if I say rest, just rest. I ain't trying to do something to mess you up. Ain't like I said, hey, go out here and pack yourself like a mule and work while you stuffy fever, head congestion, coughing, stuff. What was that? Stuffing fever, head congestion. The Nightbook commercial. But she was feeling a little bit bad and she wound up going, got a sinus infection. And normally, man, it's hard taking care of your wife, man, because some of them just don't listen. And women on the other end, it's hard probably taking care of your husbands or your significant other or, even your mama. There's some people just, they not good patients. They have no patience, so they're not good patients. But this weekend she was real chill and we just binged Paradise on Hulu. Sterling K. Brown. Oh my God. This is a wonderful show. While you gearing back up for football, you get a chance on Hulu, go to Paradise, man. It's a wonderful concept and a premise of I mean, I don't want to give away no spoilers, but I'll give you like what it is in a nutshell in a as if it were a commercial. It is in the vein in the genre of apocalyptic United States and a plan for selected people to go on with the world pretty much coming to an end in 2 steps, and that is a natural disaster of epic proportion as well as nuclear holocaust. And they had this plan binged forward to it, and you've seen it on a couple of different shows. I've seen this premise given on a couple of different shows, but this is from a standpoint of the inner circle of the White House. And Sterling K. Brown plays a lead Secret Service agent. He's with the president, and you got things to consider, your family, your friends, and everything. Just imagine the world getting wiped out, but you're one of the selected ones that will go on and continue to try to make it through a plan of AI, artificial intelligence, and extensive research and A whole bunch of resources. That's all I can say. But it is what it is. 2 seasons, and man, we just binged that thing. We binged that thing on Hulu. We just kicked it. That along with Alex Cross. I told y'all weeks ago about Alex Cross. Check out Alex Cross. More on both of those a little bit later on. But for right now, let me add that to the stage. We talking front office. The reason why I say that we doing the Dougie out here, man, you got to give it up. Now, let me see, where my applause meter at? We got to give some credit up when they messing up and when they're doing nothing, when they're sitting on their hands. We got to be real, and a lot of times we'll just talk bad about people. We'll say, well, they should have did this. They should have did that. Why they ain't do that? They spent too much money. They did that. Man, John Lynch and them out here balling. Am I right or wrong? They out here getting it. They out here getting it. We brought back when I last met with you, I think that was Thursday. We brought back Dre Greenlaw, right? For and we got to look at the value of this. Oh, girl, a man has value. That's from the Commodores. Just to be close to you. But the value of bringing a Dre Greenlaw back at a precipitous rate of 7.5 million, as opposed to 14, 17 million, is really, really, really good. It's Dre Greenlaw. It's somebody you know. It's somebody you can trust. If he can get on that field, Dre Greenlaw gonna give you all that he got, and he's infectious around the locker room. His boy is Fred Warner, and they thick as thieves. Let's just be real with it. These ain't no Rudy Poots. This ain't just get my guy because he's my guy type dude. No, they're gonna hold each other accountable. They're gonna be here, and you get him at 7.5 million. He brought in Mike Evans. Mike Evans ain't did nothing but lay it down, man. Mike Evans, there are only 2 receivers in the history of the NFL, not just the San Francisco 49ers, ladies and gentlemen, not just the conference, not just the division, not just in a 10-year span. It's 2 receivers that have gone to practice, put on pads, sometimes as smelly as they want to be, who have practiced and caught footballs and practiced with the jug machines and went through, little league, middle school, high school, college, and professional ranks. 2 men who have gotten at least 1,000 yards in 11 straight years. It ain't but 2 men. It ain't but 2 men. This is my argument for a great man like Frank Gore. Frank Gore. It ain't but 3 men, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of this game, which some of us are 50, some of us are 60, some of us 40, 30, whatever years old you are. The game is 100 years old plus. And out of everybody who ever played it, when these few guys can do it and do something that it's 31 teams now, 32 teams now. It used to be 28 teams, it used to be 16 way back in whenever and so. But when they're hitting records, and it's just 3 people walking this earth, or 2 people walking this earth, who have done some things to play this magnificent game that you spend money on, that you've subscribed, that you made a podcast on, photographed, filmed, met people up, went and had a good time, bought a jersey, whatever. Dude, This is significant. You have to break it down to its broken down compound. See how it sounds? A little unrational. A lot of people like to use the word dramatical, but him and Jerry Rice are the only two receivers that went for 1,000 for 11 straight years. I'm standing on that. I'm standing on that, man. And for the lesser fortunate, I'm not even going to dignify them and call them, my contemporaries, but y'all know who I'm talking about. For them to just cut away at this guy and say, well, it's really not this, it's really not that. As Roy Jones Jr. would say, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm giving you a side note on that. Years ago, Nike featured it was, for lack of a better term, a discussion or a meeting with goats. It was, I remember the people there. It was Serena Williams, Derek Jeter, Warren Sapp, Ahmad Rashad was hosting, Michael Jordan, and Roy Jones Jr. And they selected them and said it looked like maybe Michael Jordan's house, or it was a nice house. And they were just sitting around talking about greatness and the sacrifices and what it takes and everything. And Roy Jones Jr. remembered, hey, Mike, let me tell you what happened, man. I shoot ball with my boys. I have a good time, man. And one of my boys said, Scottie Pippen just as good or better than Jordan, because he won the same rings Jordan won. They just alike. He better, or he just as good or better. And he said, I'm getting ready to go to jail. He said, get out of my house. I'm getting ready to go to jail. Because if you don't respect what that man do and how that man done laid it down, I know you don't respect what I do. I know you talking behind my back. That's how I feel when I'm hearing things from my contemporaries, my other content creators who try to diminish and try to say, harm things, whatever their motivation, whatever root that it stems from. I'm getting ready to go to jail. Because I know you don't respect me, because you don't respect what that man has done, or this man can do, or that man. All you looking at is, if I can say something really, really crappy, a lot of people will get right on behind me. And I'm getting ready to go to jail. I'm getting ready to go to jail. You better get on away from me. I'm getting ready to go to jail. But to bring in a guy like Mike Evans, a grown adult who has a Super Bowl ring, who is going to give you everything he had. Now, is it a foregone conclusion? No, we don't know. You got to play it out. We don't know. But every bit of history is the greatest rewarder of our research. Everything says that this guy's going to give you everything he got and going to give you 1,000 yards and about 6 touchdowns. Just get him on the field. He has never shown us anything else but a high state of professionalism and the greatest tenacity in the game. And he's going to be wearing a gold jacket one day. That's all I'm saying. So we got him. We brought in Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs over from the cornerback from the Packers for a 1-year deal. Going back to Mike Evans, this is a 3-year deal at $60 million. All right, 3 years at $60 million with 16.3 guaranteed. You getting basically this dude for 16 million per guaranteed. Dude, I am so sorry. That is value at its finest. True, he's 32 years old, but a lot of receivers. Receiver at 32 is not running back at 32. Receiver at 32. Art Monk played till he was 38. Jerry Rice played very long. Randy Moss went to the New England Patriots at 32. Isaac Bruce, Fitzgerald, a bunch and a plethora of guys at 32. Andre Reed. A lot of these guys come to mind, and you can get a lot of dollar till they holler off a receiver, a future Hall of Famer at 32. Just watch who you talk to, and it'll play out. It'll play out because it always messed up. And then we bring in Christian Kirk. Now there are some injury concerns with Christian Kirk. As I slide down my slide here, these are his stats since 2018. Christian Kirk was a second round pick overall for the Arizona Cardinals. And he had some pretty productive years, the best of which being, what did he have, 1,000-yard season? Well, you could take 22 or 21. They were both pretty good years, but I guess you have to say 22 is the better with 8 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Since then, he's had some injuries in 12 and in 23 and 24 because, injuries do happen. He only played 12 games in 23, 8 games in 24, and it diminished his yards overall as well as his yards per game and things of that nature. And in 25, he was a little banged up with hamstring injuries and stuff like that. That's a different age there. Although 29, I see 3 straight years of injuries. So there's pause for concern. So what we do is look back. Did we pin 40 or 50 million dollars on him? No, we got Christian Kirk for a 1-year deal at $6 million. See, that tips the scale a little bit. It's like buying a brand new Maybach Benz. And I love Mercedes-Benz. Daimler. I love Mercedes-Benz. They just awesome automobiles. But it's a difference in buying one with no miles on it and one with about 80,000 miles on it. Both good cars, but if you can get that one with 80 or 90,000 miles for under $15,000, it is almost as good as getting one off the showroom floor brand new, but that one's going to cost you close to 70. S-Class is going to cost you that S580, which the S signifies the biggest and the luxury. The 580 means 3 digits. The point is in after this. That's the liter engine, 5.80 liter engine. That's what all those. That's inside Mercedes-Benz talk for you. The value of it is extraordinary. For $6 million, we're getting a professional. For $6 million, we're getting somebody who's been there, did that. who has had 1,000 yards, who you don't hear of uh, shirking responsibilities and playing games on social media, making TikToks and stuff like that. I think the message that's being sent is we're no longer in the business of uh, having kids around, having unserious people play serious games. And message is well received. All I can do is try to streamline it and make it more palatable for God's people and God's users. That's my charge. I in and of myself, I have no power. I give you what God gave me. That's really it, you know. And I just make it palatable because I'm on a personal level. So this is what I do. And then we go to the offensive line, which they say, we never address the offensive line. Dag. We're not drafting anybody. We need some offensive linemen. Okay, well, we can draft these kids who have not played in the National Football League and say we're addressing the issue. Or we can get some guys who have played in the National Football League, showed a propensity of professionalism, have stood up Sunday after Sunday, have the height, weight, speed, resume, the acumen to learn game plans, and you've displayed it, and get them at a reasonable offer. So with that, Vidarian Lowe, as well as Brett Toth, Vidarian Lowe from the New England Patriots, who signs a 2-year deal for $12 million, 5.75 guaranteed. The rest of this is just true value. This is true. There used to be a hardware store called True Value Hardware. This is just true value. And then we get offensive lineman Brett Toth from the Fluffy Eagles for Dave Zangaro. I think that's Dave Zangaro's report. I'm sorry about that. A 1-year deal. They haven't discussed the money and the actuals of that, but I'm willing to bet old Brett Toth is here on a good, nice budgetary thing to where we can move money around and do some other good things. And that's your front office. I got to shout them out. I got to shout them out, because if we were blowing money, blowing money like drunken sailors, and no disrespect to the Navy, but that's just an old saying that they said, sailors get drunk and just blow their money on liberty, on different things, regardless of what you do. We be sitting here dogging them and saying, man, we wasting money on this, we wasting money on that. These are just really good value picks. Somebody said in there, we bring back Eddie Pinheiro. Yes, returning 49ers like Luke Gifford, Eddie Pinheiro, Patrick Taylor, Jake Tungus, Garrett Wallow, John Weeks. Do you see the seriousness of the guys who are bringing back, the maturity? We want these kind of guys around. That's what they're saying here the whole time. They're speaking volumes. People will tell you how they like you by paying you and bringing you into something special. Case in point, you got a very special day. You're going to get married. I'm going to my boy's wedding, man. He's 76 years old. Y'all about to stand up and shout out. This is his, I think about his third marriage. my man shouting you out this April. I done took time off. I'm coming to your wedding, bruh. My main man, Willie Kane. Willie Kane is getting married. And he took time out to say, I want you at my wedding, man of God. I want you as a friend. I want to share this special day with you, man, because we done had some lean times. We done had some times we done talk. And this guy don't have to. This guy knows, big time people, congressman. He's been a detective with Fayetteville. He can give you a conceal and carry permit. He don't have to do all that. But me, that tells me a lot. When you bringing me into something special, you look at me as something special. You don't just bring people back for nothing. I just want the stuff to swell. I just want some numbers. So man, just throw these invitations all around. No, that's something near and dear to you. I've shown or displayed something so rare, so special, and so high caliber. You thought that much of me to in advance, 6-7 months in advance, said, man, I want you there on my special day. That's awesome. That's awesome. And this is what this is saying with your returning players. We looked it over. We can pay you. Some of your friends will not be here. And this goes into paradise as well. The world's going to end. We need a select type of people. A lot of your friends and a lot of your family will not make this list. So with that, we need you to come in here. So, keep that under your head. Reported. No, let me continue on. Jake Tongas, Garrett Wallow, as well as John Weeks have been brought in on 1-year deals, kind of prove it deals, but you brought in nonetheless. You can't do nothing but get an opportunity. Amen. Reported free agent interest, none thus far. This was from 49ers website this morning. Reported trade interest in Jalen Carter, the Philadelphia Eagles, says Easton Butler. Now, Jalen, he's good. He's very good. But he tends to get thrown out of games for spitting on people before the game starts. You gotta you gotta weigh it a little bit. Maybe he's cool, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But what this is showing me, halfway through the free agents, the legal tampering period started 9 March. It is 17 March. It's St. Patrick's Day. So we 8 days into it, and we're making some solid moves. That's all you can ask. Is it ideal? No. Ideally, you would just go around to other 31 teams, make trades, and get you an all-star team. Ideally. But for what you have, what is available, what can be done, I like our flavors better than the other 31 at Baskin Robbins. Y'all, signify you with me by saying TD in the chat right now. I'm looking at 49ers Red Zone. What's up, Red Jet Shell? Great to see you, girl. Hey, child. 49ers Red Zone here. Bebop Jones says, can't wait to see Dre Greenlaw shape up. Nick Martin, there's another. That's what I call a collateral benefit. Not only are you bringing him back for Fred Warner, our veteran, who's coming back off an injury himself, you're infusing and you're bringing into the room, back into the locker room, an attitude for the younger folks to look up, see, bear witness, follow, imitate, and hopefully duplicate what they see on a daily basis. You see what I'm saying? And football is like that. Soldiering is like that. Brotherhood is like that. They will be what they see. Y'all write that one down. That's Terradome exclusive. Oh, where my stuff at? Hold on. That's a Terradome exclusive there. They will be what they see. If you bring people up in an environment, you need a template a lot of times. In order for you to develop, you need to see what you need to develop too. You need a blueprint. You need a mentor. You need somebody around to say, okay, yeah, that's how he move. Okay, he show up early. What? Well, I guess I got to show up early. Okay, he's not making a TikTok video. He's looking at film. Okay, I guess I need to do that too if I'm. And my dad used to say that. I said, Dad, I really want to be good, man. I really want to be good. He said, look at what the people do that are good and do that. Now, it ain't good sometimes. I came up in the age when Lawrence Taylor was just so gifted. He could do some things that other people couldn't and still produce something so incredible, you know. So don't look at LT, but the other people, like I used to watch Walter Payton run those hills. I went out and ran the hills. Jerry Rice went out and ran the hills. Roger Craig went out and ran the hills because all I saw Walter Payton get down with the kangaroos shoes and the headband running hills in Mississippi. So this is what you must do. If you want to get to the levels of greatness, you need to do what he do. And inside that locker room, when you put a Dre Greenlaw in there, those rookies, and you give them, you know, a decent amount of money, or he comes in with cachet, those rookies will look at that and be like, okay, all right, he brought his notes, he brought his pencils. I'm gonna do that. A wonderful story that Ronnie Lott tells, and I think he told it on Rise of the 49ers. Maybe I've seen it somewhere else, but it has to be true because I done heard the story 2 or 3 times. He was at a meeting and Hacksaw Reynolds, I forgot Reynolds' first name. He wore number 64. This is way back in there. This is for a lot of y'all time. He used to take copious notes. He was a little off, but he was serious about, you know, game planning and looking at formations. He was like Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly way back in it. He was Luke Kuechly on, you know, not, I don't want to say steroids, but Luke Kuechly 1.0. And Hacksaw would have about 20 pencils in a rubber band and 5 or 6 of these steno notebooks. And every meeting he brought a book bag, and he at the meeting, you know, anything that was given out, he writing it down, making a chart, making it palatable for his mind. Because, you know, I'm going to use that tomorrow. I don't have all the great gifts that everybody else has, but I'm using that Sunday. I'm using that Thursday night. I'm using that, you know, Sunday night. And Ronnie Lott, you know, rookie coming in there, smooth, been at USC, yeah, you know, first round pick. Hey, he ain't have a pencil. And the coaches say, all right, I need y'all to write this down. And Ronnie Lott looked around and said, hey, Hacksaw, can I get a pencil? Hacksaw looked back at him. No, you can't, because you're not prepared. You're going to learn a valuable lesson today. Come with plenty of pencils and something to write with and something to write on every time. And Ronald said he did not give me a pencil. He had 20 sharpened Crayolas and everything. He said he didn't give me nothing. He said, but I learned from that day and I will never mess it up again. And that's what it's going to take for a Nick Martin. That's what it's going to take for a Winters, a Graham. I don't know if Graham's still here or whatever, but my point being, you get these veterans in the room, and rather than y'all being on TikTok, rather you on Instagram running 104 miles an hour, negotiating your contract on social media, coming out with the wrong shorts and stuff like that. Look at what the hell he's doing. And now the culture changes, the culture shifts. You come in there with, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna be 100 with you. You come in there wearing that hardware. When others have heard about it, you come in there wearing one of those. Wear it to practice. Put it away, take it off, and put it in your locker, in a nice big case, ostentatiously, very, very overtly. Put it away and cover it. And then when you get back off, you come out of your shower, put that thing back on. And walk around the locker room. Don't have nothing else on, but just have that on. Garners respect. Mike Evans can do that. People like Dre Greenlaw who have film stopping people in Seattle on the 1 foot line can do that. Watch what I tell you. Mm-hmm. But see, when you pay people who call out 90 minutes before game time, or you pay people who can't get the uniform right, or you pay people who do silly stuff, and they walk in that locker room, and the young guys see it because they, some of them ain't making 250,000. And we can look at it on spot, right? Everybody know what everybody make. You ain't gonna do right. You're enabling and encouraging a culture of I got to get mine. It's all about me. That's what happens. Now, do it take over? Is it pervasive with everybody? No. We still stay competitive, but eventually, in pivotal moments, in pivotal times, against an equal or a better physically willed and coached opponent, you're going to break down because you got something missing. You got something missing. This is how it happens. So you bring in that veteran leadership and you have them learn under that. As a parent, these 3 things is nothing. Terradome exclusive. It's 3 things you do with your kids for the good or the bad. The word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any 2-edged sword, piercing into the dividing asunder both soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. It talks about a 2-edged sword. There are 3 2-edged swords things you do with children. And I'm about to go over them with you. encourage, enable, and empower. You encourage, you enable, and you empower. Every parent does this. Either you're encouraging it for the good or the bad, you're enabling them for the good or the bad, or you're empowering them for the good or the bad. That's leadership. And parent is leadership. Your top-down leadership. Running the front office is leadership. It's top-down. It's executive level leadership. And you got to have what's called, here's another term I want y'all to throw out too. Write this one down. Subordinate leadership. Subordinate leadership is eldest brother. You got to get on that oldest one because you ain't around. You see, I got to get on that oldest one or the biggest one or the one that's showing the most promise to get it down to the lowest level so that young one get it. Some of y'all were only children. Some of y'all were, didn't come from large families and stuff like that. But this is how it's done. I come from Richmond, Virginia, both two sides of great families, huge families. And you would have the oldest, the middle kids, and the young siblings. That oldest, a lot was thrown on him or her. A lot. They gotta make it happen. They got to be de facto mom and dad because mom and dad is out there working. And then when they come home, they don't want to hear that young Johnny got into this, young Johnny got into that. They want to hear, where were you? What did you do? Why are they out doing this? What is wrong with them? And you can't come back with, hey, little sis gonna do what little sis do. I don't know. I think you can do that one time, maybe once, but nah. Elder brother syndrome. The responsibility is here, and I think our front office Kyle is not exploiting. He's displaying the fact that we need adults up in here if we're going to get to really where we got to go. So, man, I went around the world on that one. Let me open it up a little bit. How far are we in? Oh, no, I ain't going to open it up. I'm going to just let it breathe. I'm going to let it breathe. Let me see what I go to the stage here with. Got a nice shot of. I caught that one, and it reminded me of Dog Day Afternoon. You talking to me? And why did I think of Dog Day Afternoon and the great Al Pacino? Because shout out, ladies and gentlemen, to my main man, Michael B. Jordan. Where my Michael B. Jordan, as I was. Oscar award winner, best actor for Sinners, Michael B. Jordan. Man, it was something huge. I watched the Oscars. Like I said, me and Dee was just laid up, and she wasn't moving in there. She got the sniffles and everything, man. But shout out to Michael B. Jordan for becoming the 6th African-American male to win Best Actor in a dramatic role for Sinners. Why that hits near and dear to me, and what's it got to do with sports? Oh, you're going all over the place. Where he goes? Because the GOAT of TV shows is The Wire, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let nobody else tell you different. Terror Dome is telling you right here the greatest TV show ever. 5 seasons of The Wire. And this is reason 114. Wow, this is great. He started out playing Wallace, season 1 on The Wire, and the Wire now has an Oscar award winner. Never mind Idris Elba, never mind the great Wood Harris, never mind just a plethora of incredible David Simon on the writing, Method Man. Never mind all these wonderful actors. All I can do is tell y'all, just start at season 1. Please, by all means, it is the most well written. It is the ensemble cast beyond your years. Trey Chaney, shout out to him. Anybody I'm forgetting? The great what's his name? Williams. He passed away. God rest his soul. Snoop. Marlo Stansfield. Chris Partlow. Just excited for Michael B. Jordan, man. What a great dude, man. Round of applause goes there for him. Yeah, 2 rounds of applause. Let's hit it again. Yeah, man. That's big. That's big. Michael K. Williams. Thank you so much. Yeah, Michael K. Williams. He played Omar on The Wire. If y'all ain't up on The Wire, man, please just get outside yourselves and let the leader lead here. Let the leader lead. I'm gonna drop this in the chat right here. I think I got some people who want to talk a little bit. I'll share with you if y'all want to jump on. Getting back to my stuff here. Let me see here, because I get off schedule a little bit. You know, you let a preacher preach for a little bit, he can go all over. We talked about the front office. Christian Kirk is going to be solid. There's some injury concerns, but we're going to see what we can do. Rest in peace to Kiki White. We had the mock draft centers, and then we talked about Paradise already, man. Y'all check out Paradise on Hulu. Also check out my man Aldous Hodges on Cross. Man, that's just awesome. Cross. Now, Alex Cross is one of those characters. It's almost like James Bond. It's a few people that have played Alex Cross. It started out with Denzel in Bone Collector. He's Alex Cross years later, where he's paralyzed and had some humdingers on there in Bone Collector. I think Morgan Freeman played Alex Cross. Did Perry play him? Tyler Perry might have played him once as well, but the series now is on Amazon, so check out Alex Cross and definitely Paradise. Let me bring up a little film for you. As I remove that, I will get to my mock draft, how I did the other night. This is my 4th mock draft. I think 4th. I'm trying to record them all. And we made some money, y'all. We made some money. Let me go back to my my rules for drafting. Let me see here. I think I got it here somewhere. Oh, and everybody love this. This is Terror Dome excuses. You can put a dress on a pig. That doesn't make it a pageant queen. That's a dress on a pig. So when people say, hey, yeah, we addressed the situation. No, you didn't. You know, you ain't fix it. You just put a dress on a pig. Here's my rules for drafting. In the first round, I want to get sensational. Somebody who's just going to rip up the league, right? Second and third round, I want to get rotational, a potential starter. We got a fit for him. If he works out a little bit, great. He'll start one day. And then 4th and 5th round, that might be your little specialty guys, your situational guys. Now these can fluctuate and become even more so, but at the bottom of a fourth and fifth round guy, I see a place for him, but there's probably one thing that they're missing. They probably came from a small school. They probably came a little late. They might be a little slow, or they might not be as strong as they need to be. Sixth and seventh round, we just took a shot, man. They probational. We just took a shot. We're hoping it hits. They're missing mostly everything, but they got a little something special and intangible, right? So that being said, this was my mock draft. That was my first one. This is my second one, or the fourth one recorded. And this is the one we had the other night. At the end of it, again, I got this was on Draft Buzz. Kenyon Sadiq was there. I like this guy. I think he's exceptional. I think he's got all the tools. He's got the pedigree. He's got the stats. He's got the PFF grade, PFN grade, Draft Buzz grades. The consensus is this is a first round pick, and we need a good tight end to go 12, 13 personnel, 22 personnel. We need that tight end. I think he can be a really good and productive tight end. Now, does he block well? Well, no, probably by our standards, no, but I am so sick of getting these tight ends that can't block anyway and naming them as blockers. And then you look at the scorecard or the box score, they ain't did nothing the whole game. I'd like guys who will run like deer, uh, yards after catch, pull me down 5-6 touchdowns, who have the ability to sky, who can run routes, who I need that to complement the great George Kittle, who will be wearing a gold jacket one day. Then I went to wide receiver. Now this is before the Christian Cup, or the Christian Cup. I'm sorry, the Christian Kirk announcement. I went with Omar Cooper Jr. He is out of the Indiana Hoosiers. I think he's tough. I think he could be what we need at receiver. Again, this has to be modified and adjusted. Then I picked up some picks, traded down a little bit with and David McNiner, you can spot me on this one. I think it was New England who we traded with to pick up some more picks to get down. I pick up EMW. Normally I like a Benz over a BMW, but Emmanuel Michael Warner out of Toledo. He's going to be here in the third round. If he's still around in the third round, he's a safety. He's a playmaker. He's got a lot of interceptions. We need that at safety. Then I went with Parker Brailsford. More on him in a minute. Parker Brailsford is a center out of the Alabama University. Then I went with J.C. Davis, an offensive tackle, along with David Igbinosun. I said that right on the first time. He's a cornerback from the Ohio State University. You can't miss with Ohio State University secondary and receivers. I don't know what they put in their protein drinks there, but Ohio State guys can play receiver and defensive back coming out of Ohio State University. Probably can rush the passer a little bit. Quarterbacks, I leave that alone. Anyway, later I picked up Chris McClellan, and defensive tackle from Missouri. He's got good measurables, and this is when you're getting down into your later rounds. I know it says fourth and fifth, but for us, this is kind of tailing it off because we don't have any fifth round picks. This was all gravy. It's supposed to be just fourth round picks, and we traded one for so we might not have a 5 picks overall, but nonetheless. McClellan, just from the school, man, Missouri. Looking at him on film a little bit, he just can make it happen. I'm hoping we kind of bottle up lightning as we did with Alden Smith. And then lastly, I got a dude named Isaiah Worrell. And you got to have a guy named Worrell because he's huge. He plays offensive tackle at the University of Oregon. So that was a pretty dope draft. And I'm going to do a live draft probably Thursday, depending on who I'm with and whatever. We'll draft up Thursday. Getting back, and I'll finish off with this. Getting back to my main man, Parker Brailsford. I love Parker Brailsford, and we probably won't get him, ladies and gentlemen. But I just wanted to show y'all why what I'm looking for in a center. I had my eyes on Parker Brailsford for the last 2 years. There's some other good ones in there as well, and I will try to go over that. But I need to show y'all why I like Parker Brailsford from the University of Alabama. So if you would just indulge me for a little bit, and I hope YouTube don't snatch me up because this is from somebody else's clip up in advance. I do not own the rights to this. This is for clearly educational purposes and, you know, all of those things that make it nice or whatever y'all need to make it here. I really like this kid. Let me go and share my screen. Here's the window. And no, I should put that in there. Yeah, let me. No, we can do it like this. We can do it like this. Share this. This is Parker Brailsford, and I'm going to decrease so that he may increase. Amen. And this kid has got it. He is playing center, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to see why I like Parker Brailsford. Okay, going right back here. Look at number 75 in the middle of your screen. You see how he finishes it off? Look at your center. Look at that center there. See how nasty he is? 72. He's wearing number 72. 72. See how nasty he is? I want dominant. We need dominant at center. You see the pancakes, waffles. See, he's still blocking them through the echoes of the whistle. I want nasty. I don't need if I pick up unnecessary roughness, so be it. Good. But I want them to understand this is a dog fight and we ain't here all day. You see dude on the ground there and there? Yeah, that's what we do here. He's a little undersized. It's saying 289, but I can feed you 2 biscuits and 5 potatoes and get 10 pounds on you very, very quickly. It don't take nothing but a couple of squats, 3 sets of 10 with heavyweight. I can get you up there heavy. You see, Lord have mercy. Y'all see Parker. As the delayed blitzer thought he was coming in, boom. See how he's on the ground? Look down there. I ain't want to put it on the telestrator, but this is what I'm looking for. Block to the ground. Dominate. Anchor. Dominate. Anchor. Dominate. You see that nasty in him? This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for here. See, when you put them on the ground like that, it sends a message. As they were saying to Godfather, it's a Sicilian message. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. Go back. You see your opponent? Are y'all seeing that? Put a thumbs up if you're seeing what I'm seeing. This is what I like to do. And it's against Division I gonna play on Sunday guys. These are SEC guys. These are ACC guys. This is Florida State. This is LSU. These are these people, where we go to get good linemen. He's putting them on the ground and he's nasty with it. This is what I like. This is what your center needs to look like. Just dominate. Now this is Connor Lew, who I've mock drafted too. He's out of Auburn. Whoa. Where am I at now? Now this is Colburn from Michigan State. Now, Colburn is doing some good things too, but Michigan State didn't finish up so well. I think Michigan State might have won 2 games out of 10 or 2 games out of 11 or something. But this is his highlight reel. He does get nasty, and he's ranked pretty high. I like it though. I like it. But I've been following Parker Brailsford for 2 years. Colburn, he'll get rough with it. I like it's a draft for centers. And see y'all see that nasty I'm talking about. Finish the guys off. You see that? That's where you want to be. That's what I like to see. And that's Colbin out of Michigan State. If you can get that second, third, maybe even 4th round, center's a diminished position. But for us, if it's a center draft, go and get you a center. I prefer Parker Brailsford, but some of these guys will do. And this is Connor Lew. I really got to see. He done put the NFL Film Room logo up there. But Connor Lew, he's pretty good. Getting to the second level, chopping his feet, staying with the block. Getting to the second level, chopping his feet. You see his feet moving? Good pad level. He's getting a little rust there, but he anchored. He ain't got quite the knockout blow, but by PFF standards, it was saying that he's pretty good. Last one. Just block through the echoes of the whistle. But I really like Parker Brailsford out of the University of Alabama. It's he's a wonderful cat, man, and that's why I was making those moves in the the 4th or 5th round, because we have multiple 4th round picks. We don't have any 5th rounders, 6th or 7th. So our draft's going to be pretty early after, but everybody's going to, we're going to do what we do. We'll hang around and chat and prognosticate and what's that, philosophize and jargotize everything. But as far as just the overall interest and the excitement about the draft after the 4th round, as it stands right now, unless we trade back and pick up a couple of 5th, 6th, or 7th rounders, our day's going to be pretty much done. After the early on the 3rd day, because it moves really, really quick. We're moving really, really quick, and we're making good value decisions in the free agency, so we don't have to rely so much on the draft. It seems like people say, I guess they're going for it this year. You need to go for it every year. Because you just never know. This thing can be very, very futile. An injury here, injury there, bad scheduling, a couple of missed plays, missed opportunities, the wrong combination. You go for it every week in the National Football League, because you never know. One game can determine, a seed, which will determine where we play a game, which will determine who we play, and then you're off to the races. So we're just trying to make it happen right there. Let's see if I got any questions here. I know Ty got one. Next slide show. TD says we'll feature most all of you. Oh, we can't wait for that slideshow there, Red Jet Show. The Terradome just make up a word, jargotize, philosophize. Not my aunt used to say, what they sitting around there commiserating. Yeah, she said commiserating. Like when you get with somebody who's going through something too, and y'all sitting there and talking about, man, what you going through? I'm going through what you going through. Oh man. So y'all sitting in there commiserating together. Or I think Joe Pesci used it in Goodfellas. Y'all can't sit around there and commiserate. What we got here? LOL. Yeah. Forever Faithful Podcast. What it be? Yo, TD, what it is, peoples. What it is. I'm about to wrap this thing up. 1 hour and 21 minutes. I gotta go to work again tonight. I just wanted to share a couple things with you. Rest in peace to the wonderful Key Shepherd. Congratulations to Michael B. Jordan. And shout out to my man John Lynch in the front office of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't care what the naysayers are saying. I can see your jazz. I can get your rhythm. I see how you trying to do things, and you're doing it on the, not the cheat, but you're doing it on the value side. You're doing it expeditiously. Most expeditiously. You're doing it efficiently, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, my dude. I appreciate it. Don't nobody else tell you, you got whomever saying whatever, but I see what he doing. I use this analogy of I am a pianist, and if the trumpeter or mainly the bass, if the bass guy and the kick comes up with a rhythm, I can play the jazz based on what I'm hearing. That means I can follow along what you're doing if there's a rhythm with it, and I see a rhythm with it. What I can't follow along is like, what the hell's he playing? It's a boo doo doo bop bop boo da boo bop bop. I'm like, I don't know that one. But if that bass come with boom 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 boom, we know what that is. I can work with that, and I see what Kyle and John are trying to do. That's what I'm saying. Sounded like Mary Poppins in that Jane. Over here with these words. Sound like, is it that much? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I personally like anti-disestablishmentarianism. I like sagaciousness. I like hippopotamus quindipiling. Hippopotamus monstrositas quidepidelium. That's what it's called. And that's the study of big words. Suspiciously. Indubitably. I like that one too. The reason why I like words so much, I had to have it explained. It's not that I'm trying to be smart or nothing, but the book of John, if you just read your Bible, and it's in there unless you erased it, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, all things were made by him, and without him, not anything was made that was made. In the beginning with God, in him was life, and in that life, the light of men. That light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. And then we beheld the Son of the only begotten full of grace and truth. That's the man, that is just some of the most beautiful things ever written by Saint John in your Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the New Testament, the fourth book in the New Testament. And the word was God. So I love words. I do. And I will break them down to you. I ain't gonna speak over your head. I've been chastised a little bit by, I don't understand all them big words. You need to break that down, Lord. And I said, you're obtuse. Sometimes they ain't got to be a big word. Some it be 5, it can be 6 letters, and it's too big for them to understand anyway. But I ubiquitously will be back on Thursday, if not Wednesday. I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll be checking y'all out on your various platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me for about an hour and 25 minutes. That's almost a record. Amen. I will be back very, very, very soon, probably Thursday morning, because everything continues to happen and will just happen quickly. We'll sign somebody and, the world will shift and go crazy, but I can understand what my man is trying to do. So further reach me. If it's something really breaking and pressing, I will go live. I will break the news, but I want to thank each and every one of y'all. God bless you. God continue to be in your lives. God will show you some things in life. God will move things. He will move mountains. And just because it looks this way this day does not mean it will be the same tomorrow. In him we believe. And remember, we walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank y'all all for coming out. God bless.